kind of provide a spark, lead the team in scoring. Kind of what kind of went into it tonight for you, and just kind of being able to kind of lead that charge?
I think just coming in and playing as hard as I can every time, and a lot of trust is being put on me defensively as well, and I kind of take pride in that. And my focus coming on the floor is like I'm gonna play as hard as I can on the defensive end, and I know with our offense there's a lot of freedom, so other guys are gonna get hot different days, and it just happen to be me.
Hunter, Jake, just the unselfishness of the team kind of was out there again tonight. I think 22 assists on 28 made buckets. How did that kind of help you guys specifically when they were kind of hanging around for that first half and then you pull away?
Well, I think a big goal of ours, our playing style is getting the ball up the court, and we take the elevation we play at to our advantage. And so just getting the ball up the court, if you give the ball up, likely it's going to come back to you. That's kind of the way that we play, and it's so fun to play around guys who are unselfish and want to see their teammates succeed. And I think that's one of our biggest strengths offensively.
Seemed like for a bit tonight, it was a little disjointed on the offensive side of the ball. You couldn't score at a consistent rate. How important, though, was it to have that defense, to be able to lock into that, to know, okay, you can lock them down and then wait for your shots to kind of fall?
Yeah, I definitely think that's our focus every game, especially now. Like, we know we got a talented offensive team, and kind of like I mentioned, there's a lot of freedom to our offense, and we're obviously not perfect at it yet, but I think we're getting better every single week. And as long as we're playing hard defensively, getting those stops, like the offense is just going to start flowing.
You gonna have a game this year where you don't get hit significantly or something?
I don't know.
It's always hard.
Even last year, I took probably like 10+ shots to the face.
Jake, it seems like you're much more comfortable this year. Do you feel that way, and kind of what's led to that to allow you to kind of be in that situation?
Yeah, I think the jump from a freshman to a sophomore is one of the biggest jumps in college basketball, and I do feel like the game slowed down a lot, and a lot of it is the confidence that my teammates have instilled in me and that I have in them. As far as the guys who have returned and also our new guys who weren't here last year, we have a really good relationship on the court, off the court, and it all translates, and I'm just happy and blessed to be on this team with each of these guys.
How are you guys kind of just feeling about the cohesiveness of this team right now with 1 week left of non-conference play? You've got guys, you got Lawson and Zach back, a couple weeks ago, and just got Caleb last week. Cohesiveness-wise, where did you just kind of feel this team's at right now?
I definitely think there's a lot we need to get better at, especially adding those new guys in and Caleb. And kind of like I mentioned, I think we're just getting better every game. And we had really good practices this week, and I think we're going to continue focusing on defense. I think we got a very talented group defensively as well. We got size and strength, and guys like Jake and Caleb who can guard like 1 through 5. So if we lock in on that end, like, that freedom on offense is just going to come easier and easier every game.
Speaking about defense, that was, I think, one of the things that Craig talked about last week in the St. Mary's loss was sometimes there was shots, especially in that first half, when shots weren't missing, the defense just wasn't there on the other end. How did you kind of feel like you responded to that kind of effort? I think you ended up having a 15-5 edge in fast break points tonight.
I mean, we're not always going to shoot lights out like we have in earlier games this year. Tonight may have been a good example. What were we from 3?
10 over here.
Oh, so not awful, but we've shot better, and I think we will. So we just, no matter what, no matter how the offensive side of the floor is going, we have to stay true to who we are defensively, be ready to compete, and we know that if we leave it all out there, that we'll figure things out, and I think that's just what's most important.
Mm-hmm. And I think we got a really mature team. We kind of got older guys like myself, and I think with maturity, that kind of, it's easier. Like when you're younger, it's pretty hard to, when you're missing every shot, keep playing hard on defense. But I think with a mature team, we, especially after that St. Mary's game, kind of have locked into that. Like, don't worry about the offense and just lock in defensively.
Well, it's a good win. I thought we did a lot of things well tonight. I thought they played great. Like when you come into a game 9-2 this early in the year, there's some they've won 5 in a row. There's some real mojo that goes with that. And I was, getting ready for this game. I mean, of course, I felt good about it, but at the same time, I just, when you start getting on a roll like that, you just confidence starts happening, and you start kind of willing yourself to win, and you start feeling that vibe. And so I thought they played great. Obviously, Moss really got going, their leading scorer. There's a reason he started. You could see that tonight. There's a reason he went to Stanford for 1 or 2 years. He's a really talented guy. Thought we did a much better job adjusting in the second half to make things harder for him. But that was a really good overall team effort. It was great for us to get back into practice and just kind of reestablish an identity and get real reps. We had a heck of a week of practice, very, very physical and rugged. Did a better job of finishing plays as a whole around the rim. Still got to make our free throws. But I thought we defended hard, made them earn a lot of stuff, especially the second half. And then, offensively, we did a lot of good things, right? 22 assists, only 8 turnovers. One of those turnovers was that last one on Miro. So really 7 turnovers. Thought we did a good job valuing the ball. Got a lot of clean looks tonight. If we shoot it the way we typically shoot it, I mean, we miss some clean, wide open shots. That happens some nights. It could have been a really different game in terms of the point differential. But and then, a couple individuals that really stood out. I thought Hunter Erickson was outstanding, 5 for 7 from the field, 18 points, just super efficient, just super under control, right? Plus 31 in the plus minus. And he was defending he's a very good defensive player. I thought Lawson was really good. 6 for 8 from the field, 12 points, but just anchored us, played a lot of physicality and toughness to him. A big key for them is they do a good job. Number 5 especially does a good job of getting deep post catches and scoring. I thought our post defense was very good and tough-minded. And then a guy that would maybe stood out a lot more to me than maybe most is Jake Wallin. He just makes a lot of winning plays out there that'll never show up on here, with his ability to slip screens and creates a lot of easy shots for other people, keeps the game simple that way. And Gabe Matzing set a career high with 7 assists, so that was pretty cool too. But did a way better job in the second half. And then the last couple things, defended hard without fouling. These guys were number 16 in the country of getting to the foul line, and we did a good job only holding them to 12 free throw attempts, because that's a big thing with what they do. So excited for the win, and we go from one game over a 12-day stretch, and now we have 3 games in 8 days. So I'm excited to try to get a little momentum here as we go into Big 12 play.
Could you just talk more about the spark that you saw out of Hunter tonight? Not only offensively, but that presence that he kind of had out there. I mean, he had a strong line across the board.
He was outstanding. He's been so good all year, guys. Hunter, after the St. Mary's game, when you lose a game like that, there's so many things you think about, right? And there's just so many things. And the biggest thing that I thought about afterwards, I'm sitting in the coach's locker room, and you're looking over everything, and you're just talking. At the end of the day, Hunter only played 8 minutes, played 8.5 minutes that game. And he's just too good of a player, and the way he's elevated his game, but when I say elevate his game, it's and what he does for the team. I mean, there was a play where we threw it into Ezra, kicks it out to Hunter. Hunter could have easily just peeled it off a 3. He holds it for a second, guy rotates, he goes one more, Gabe hits a 3. He just makes so many winning plays out there. He's a veteran guy, and so the guys believe in him. He was really good tonight.
I'll ask this again, but another night where Mike gets the start,
Yeah.
but now only 4 minutes. Are
Yep.
you going to see a change there, or is it more just what Hunter had with the hot hand type thing, or kind of what's your
We'll see. I mean, Hunter was really good. I thought Mason had, I told the team this after, I thought Mason probably had his best, not probably, with conviction, I could say he had his best week of practice as a running Ute. And so, Hunter was just playing really well, and then you combine that with what Mason is. I'm going to really go back and look at some things tomorrow, well, probably tonight and tomorrow, and then feel that out. Had a good meeting with Mike the other day. I guess it was yesterday, just about some things. And so we just got to keep getting better. He's a good player. He's talented. Obviously, he's not playing his best basketball. And so you got to be able to, we got to try to put him in a position to help him more. And then he's got to figure some things out as well.
Early on in the season, obviously, you guys were hitting at a high rate at free throw or 3-pointers. You
Yeah.
still had 10 tonight, so it's not like you weren't bad. But when those shots aren't falling consistently throughout a game, how nice is it to be able to rely on that defense? And do you feel like you're learning more about your team on being able to consistently play while not making shots at times?
Yes. Yes. We are a really good shooting team. Obviously, sometimes when you play that way, the old cliche, right? You live and die by the three. But if you're a good team, you got to win. You got to be able to play different styles. So that was before all these guys went down. I thought we really had a good rhythm and routine, and we were playing very well and connected. And you guys have heard me say this too many times over the last few years because of all the injuries we have had. But basketball is a game of rhythm and timing, and that was a big, big thing for us this week is try to get our rhythm and timing back on the offensive end. Doing the things that we were doing very well when we had the close scrimmage against Nebraska, et cetera, et cetera. I thought we saw a lot of that tonight. We had so many good looks tonight that just from the three, especially that didn't fall, but good looks all the way around. And again, when you have 22 assists, I think that says something. But I just thought our guys had a great mindset this week. We did not have the loser's limp. Clearly, we were not happy with the last game. And I thought we were able to get valuable time incorporating Lawson really back in. Zach, I thought he had his best week as a Ute as well. He played okay tonight, but certainly I thought he made some real strides in practice this week. And Caleb, trying to blend him back in to what we're doing. And honestly, Ezra had a really good week. So it's nice to kind of get our front line more reestablished, if that makes sense, to get this thing going. Because we're going to have to, like, you get on the road in these tough environments and these teams that we're having, man, you got to be able to hit people on all the senses. You got to be able to score the ball a lot of different ways. So it's good to see that we were able to do a lot of that tonight.
What did you kind of think of the unselfishness of this team, and considering where you're coming off that game last week, tough loss, that one good half, one tough half?
Yeah.
Because you end up with 22 assists, the 8 turnovers, and I mean, for a while there, Radford's hanging around, but even in the first half, I think 13 buckets on 15 assists in that first.
Yeah, first half we had 13 assists on 15 made shots. We're very selfless. When we got in a little bit of a funk there in the first half, I thought that's when we weren't playing selfless. It was everybody running to the ball. Can't win like that. It's hard to win like that. Some teams maybe can. It's hard for us to do that. We got to play very connected and cutting and moving. And I think our brand of basketball is exciting to watch. And so I'm proud of our guys. That's how this team is, in a lot of ways on the offensive end. That's how we're built. We have guys that can make good decisions typically. And that's a lot of what the game of I've always said basketball is a game of multiple. You got to be able to make quick decisions, 0.5 basketball, and you got to make multiple effort plays. Right? You can't just stand with your feet in the sand. Like, you got to make multiple effort plays, box out, attack the rebound with 2 hands. You saw it was a big that was another emphasis for us. Like, a couple times that second half, we went soft after a rebound with one hand. Right? We're coming out like somebody that's going to attack that thing with vigor, goes back in. So now I'm getting off at a different subject, but we had 22 assists, and if we make a few more of those wide open threes, that number would have really gone up. So I'm proud of our guys. I thought we were able to really fine-tune some things on the offensive end this week, and I thought it carried over to tonight.
And just defensively, what did you kind of first impressions from the effort tonight?
Much better, right? Much better. These guys can do some things. Those 3 guards, Moss, obviously we saw how he can get it going. Macklin, especially in the second half, I mean, he had 15 points on 10 shots. He can be a bowling ball. He had 6 threes in a game, I think 2 or 3 games ago. And a guy that's been playing really well coming into tonight is Truth Harris, number 4, who I thought we contained well. So we were able to do a lot more things. Getting our front line back really can, anchor us defensively. And I thought we did a good job of shutting off the paint.
Any other questions for Coach?
All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend. You bet. Thank you.